everyone, welcome back to episode 5 of Pressure Painting and Peace. So today we're going to be talking about another thing that Teal has taught me, and it's something called vibrational shift, which is something I've never heard of, but it's basically taking your emotions and changing them for the better. So first I'll explain everything about the vibrational shift. So if there's a chart she gave me which has all these emotions on it, and I'll put it on the screen so you can see, and it will basically help you to identify what you're feeling in that moment and raise you to a higher feeling so you feel better. You kind of take the feeling that you're feeling at that moment, forgive it, and then move on to something better. So for this past few weeks, I've been kind of feeling boredom, which I'm sure everyone feels at some point now. With quarantine, it gets tiring. So I've been feeling boredom, and I try to move that feeling to positive expectation. This just is because there's nothing really going on and I don't have anything to do, so I try to kind of find a different outlet to help myself be more comfortable and just be less bored. So I have a positive expectation of how my day's gonna go, how much work I'm gonna be doing, stuff like that, to keep me on track and also not so bored. More recently, I've actually been feeling a little bit stressed out. So on the chart, I've been feeling more overwhelmed. That's because I'm still in college right now and I'm taking summer classes. So it can get kind of stressful, waiting for your grades, waiting for the outcome of what's gonna happen. I had my last day just a couple days ago, and it was fine. I did feel a little overwhelmed, so I did try to move that to more of a positive outcome of being hopeful. And the hopefulness will help me get through the class and finish it up, because I am hopeful that I'm gonna get a good grade, and I think I am. I've been tracking my progress and stuff like that, and trying to kind of be hopeful for the fact that my grades might go up because I get a really good grade in this class. So this past week, I haven't really been feeling any kind of depression or anything like that, any sad feelings. But if I was, I would try to probably move it up to something more hopeful or just more positive, because you never want to be that low. You never want to be suffering through that. So yeah, just move your emotions up and understand how you feel. So the next step she advised me to do was to get up and move. So as you know, I am interested in being an actress full-time and as a career in my future, and that's one of my dreams. So when I thought of get up and move, I just thought of something I always do, which is write down some scenes and act it out. This is just a personal thing for me. She recommends going through and using music, picking up your favorite song, something like that, and moving around, just having a good time. But yeah, I write down scenes. I like writing scripts, and I just move through it as if I'm playing multiple characters, so I am moving around because it's kind of all over the place and stuff like that. But if I want to actually dance, I usually like to think of a movie that I really like. One example is Dirty Dancing. I don't know why I like this movie so much, but it's a dancing movie and it has some great songs in it. So I kind of think of the songs, I move around to it, I listen to the songs and kind of get into the groove of what the movie would be like. You could do this with any movie. If you're a fan of I don't know, High School Musical, you can move around and get to it with that. The next step is to go out in nature. Where I live, there's not a lot of nature. I live kind of not in a city-like environment, but the houses are close together. There's not a lot of parks nearby, but there are trees on the street, stuff like that. So if I ever want to go outside, I could walk around and go to a couple blocks down to a street that has a bunch of shops in it, and just enjoy myself and the nice nature that's around. Just going outside and seeing what's out there and not being cooped up in my apartment. If I'm feeling down and there's not really anywhere to go, I can't go outside, maybe it's raining, stuff like that, I have a lot of plants, so I've created nature inside my apartment. I usually, if I just tend to my plants, I get some water in them, I give them some food, I take care of them, repot them if I have to. It's just kind of taking care of something else besides yourself almost, but still nature. So if you're not going outside, maybe get some plants, to kind of ground you and understand how you're feeling a little bit more by occupying yourself with something new. The next step is to meditate. So as you might know, I'm not really used to meditating, and for some reason I just can't get into that mindset. But what she recommends for this is to do a 3-minute minimum meditation. So this can be to a song that you like that has no words, preferably, so you can just focus on your inner mind space and just hear your own thoughts and work through it and stuff like that. So I like to listen to smooth jazz. I don't know why, but I enjoy jazz a lot. It's probably because of the people around me, but I do like jazz when it's nice and smooth and kind of moody, to kind of get you in a relaxed state. You hear all these nice beats that calm you down and make you kind of feel the music through your body. I don't know, jazz just does that. I didn't have a love for jazz before, but then I went to New Orleans and I was like, yeah, I enjoy this. So yeah, just listen to something you really like with no words, and sit there for a couple minutes, the duration of the song or the duration of 2 songs, and just sit there, relax, meditate, close your eyes, and enjoy the time you have with yourself. And the last recommendation is to draw, paint, or write. So I already paint a lot, as many of you know, because I have all these videos of me painting, but so I've always used painting to relax me and kind of get me in my mind and work out how am I feeling, and it kind of comes out in the painting. If I don't like what's going on in my life, I try to put as much detail as I can in the painting for some reason. I don't know why, but it just kind of helps me focus a little bit more, and the way I stipple my brush, it's moving really fast because maybe I'm stressed out or something like that. But it just helps me relax a lot. And if you like to draw, maybe you could do that. If you like to write in your journal, write an entry. Or if you're like me and you like to write stories, write part of a screenplay or an idea you have for a new screenplay, stuff like that. So for these 2 paintings I'm actually going to show you, it's some digital art I did. I'm showing you 2 because they aren't that long of time lapses, so I just kind of wanted to show you both of them to show different styles I have. So I do some digital painting when I'm kind of feeling a little bit lazy and I don't want to pull out my easel and set it up, or I don't want to tape down some paper to my desk that will take forever to do, and then I won't finish the painting. It's a whole thing. It's, if you know, you know. But when I do digital art, I just do it on my iPad with an Apple Pencil, and I use Procreate. And when I'm doing that, I kind of get into this motion that is just painting in real life, which is so weird to me because I used to just do traditional art on paper and canvas and stuff like that, but I bought the iPad to try new digital art out, and I really do enjoy it. It's more convenient, especially if you're feeling a little lazy, because there you can add layers and stuff like that and just kind of get into the painting and not have to worry about waiting for something to dry. Or if you want to paint over something and then you do it and then you're like, oh god, I don't like it, you can just hit undo. It's completely different and so much easier almost. So for these 2 paintings I did one of a landscape, which is something I always do, which actually took me only 1 episode of The Office, so I gotta say I'm pretty proud of myself. But the second one, it was a portrait that I found on Pinterest, and I just used that to kind of study this woman's skin and the lighting and how it was hitting, and I really enjoyed making that one. The big takeaways from this whole process are that there are so many ways to move through your emotions, and this is something I've practiced before, not exactly this process, but I used to go to therapy, and it's something a lot of people do, so I'm not ashamed of it, it's therapy. But I used to go, and I only go when I need to, but when I did go, I was working on anxiety and stuff like that, so I would write down what I was feeling and then try to move past that by breaking it down. So it would be I write down, I'm anxious about this, and then what is the worst outcome which is usually blown out of proportion because you're like anxious, and then you write down the next thing, which is what is the realistic outcome, and then you're like, wait a second, like you just kind of take those emotions and forget about it, or forgive it in this scenario, and move to a higher level and just understand yourself a little bit more. I think it's really important to work through your emotions, especially now. We're all stuck inside, we're all getting very bored, but even though we don't see an end in sight, there will be an end, and we're gonna get back to normal eventually. Who knows when, but eventually. So while you're inside, work through your emotions. What are you feeling? If you're feeling down, move yourself to a higher level of emotion, just something more happy. Do all these activities. It's very simple. You only have to do it when you need to. And just understand yourself a little bit more, because if you're sitting in here not knowing what to do, understand who you are. Like, just be yourself, do activities that make you happy, and eventually you'll be able to work through everything. So that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed learning more about vibrational shifts and different things you can do to kind of amp up those vibrational shifts and make yourself feel happy overall. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you all next week. Thank you for listening, and bye.